Hey there, YouTubers, it's your boy D-Bellboy, aka Mr. Black Ranger here, coming back at you with another Genesis video. So, that last video, we ended up taking an introductory look at Amber, the energy support. We talked a little bit about, her lore and background, took a look at her skills and her recommended loadout as well as her skill order. Just nice, quick, fast look at her. And then literally with a couple, well not a couple, I'd say like 40 minutes after I posted that video, Rampage Games announced the release date for Genesis on the PS4, finally. And so that release date is going to be August the 13th, which is going to be next week on Tuesday. So I definitely can't wait to play it and see you all in game there. Just a quick preface here before we start the next hero intro. Just want to go ahead and take a minute to remind you guys, go ahead and like that video because it helps get it out there, or not. It's still you guys' choice. Your viewership is just more than enough for me. And if you like the content that I'm creating, then go ahead and laser beam that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell next to it. That way you can always get notified when I upload and stay up to date. So now, the next hero that we're going to take a look at in this introduction series is going to be Apollo. So here he is, the introduction to Apollo. Apollo is a carry slash archer. Archer is generally what they call carries in the game. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into this and take a further look at Apollo here. Alright, going to start off with a little bit of his lore here. So, Apollo is the strongest line of defense for the Pantheon. He is always the first one to rush into battle. Wielding his powerful bow, there is no place for his targets to hide. And stepping over into his background here, Apollo is different from the other Pantheon gods. He gets involved in the fights and gives out orders to the troops on the front line. During the rebellion, Hades started from total loss. Apollo and his regiment of archers prevented the advance of Hades' forces. As the fighting got worse, Apollo lost his right arm when he was covering the retreat of Zeus. After the fight ended, Zeus allowed Apollo to forge a new set of armor using the radiance of the sun, and a new right arm that can harness and control that power. The newly outfitted Apollo now patrols all entrance to the Olympus sector, like a light that banishes all darkness. When his shift is over, and when his sister Artemis stands guard, Apollo would pick up his lyre and play a tune for his dear sister. When the Joint Alliance reached the new universe, Apollo landed first as Pantheon representative due to his mistrust of the humans. So there we have a nice little background tidbit about Apollo. We're gonna move on right now and go ahead and check out his skills next. Alright, so here we have Apollo's skills. So we're gonna start up there in the top left. The first skill is called Sunfire. Releases the fires of the sun at a target area, slowing all enemy units and dealing damage over time. Its energy cost respectively is 70, 75, 80, and 85, with a cooldown of 6.5 seconds. His second ability is Blinding Light. Apollo's radiant arrows have a chance to stun the target and deal additional damage, which cost no energy and have no cooldown. His third ability, which is actually a passive skill, is called Golden Bow. Apollo's Golden Bow allows him to make full use of his archery abilities, greatly increasing his attack range. And then lastly, his ultimate ability, or skill 4, is called Radiant Arrow. So after charging, Apollo fires a blazing arrow at his targets, dealing massive damage. Charge period increases with distance to the target, and the energy cost respectively is 150, 250, 350, and the cooldown respectively is 16 seconds, 12 seconds, and 8 seconds. Alright, and as you can see, I still got I still have the actual video there, so you guys can take a look at the skills there. But yeah, literally from his skills, he's pretty much your basic introductory carried. Nothing, no extra mechanics. It's just kind of what you see is what you get. You shoot a target, Sunfire. You shoot at a target, slows them, deals dot damage. Blinding light. You stun it, got a chance to deal additional damage. And then Radiant Arrow. The farther away from the opponent you are, the longer you charge up, more damage you do, because Golden Bow increases the attack range. So yeah, standard introductory carry. Next up, the standard loadout that Rampage Games recommended. So from left to right, we have the Devil's Mutation. It costs 4,900 gold, gives plus 30 attack damage, plus 20% attack speed, plus 17% lifesteal. Its active is Battle Madness. Grants the wearer 15% increased movement speed and 55% increased attack speed for 8 seconds. Cooldown 30 seconds and an energy cost of 25. Its passive is Ruthless. Each basic attack deals additional true damage equal to 3.5% of the target's current health. The second item is Medusa's Shield. It costs 3,800 gold and it gives plus 25 attack damage, plus 50 armor. Its active ability is called Energy Flux. Grants the wearer immunity to all energy effects for 5 seconds. The third item is the Eclipse. It costs 5,500 gold and it gives plus 110 attack damage. Its passive is Take Aim. Basic attacks gain 75% True Strike. The fourth ability that you want to take on Apollo is called Plasma Blaster. It costs 5,350 gold and it gives plus 80 attack damage and plus 20% critical chance. The passive on it is called Deadly Strike. It increases the critical damage by 50%. And then the fifth item, it's a movement item, the Turbo Boots. So it costs 2,500 gold and it gives you plus 70 movement speed, plus 20 attack damage, plus 20 armor, and a unique passive Fusion Burst increase movement speed of the wearer by 25% for 3 seconds with an 8-second cooldown. And then lastly, you want to take Stormcaller. The cost on that is 5,800 gold. It gives plus 45 attack damage, plus 30% attack speed, plus 15% critical chance. And its passive, Thunderstorm. Basic attacks have a 25% chance of releasing a bolt of lightning that bounces 3 times, dealing 120 energy damage. So, just overall looking at this. Looking at the items that they want you to take, as well as looking at his kit, it's not bad at all. Like generally, you want to go ahead and from the items they give you, it's a lot of attack speed there. With where is it? Plus 30% attack speed, plus 20% attack speed. 20% from the Devil's Mutation, 30% from the Stormcaller. Then on top of that, the active from the Devil's Mutation gives you an additional 55% increased attack speed for 8 seconds. That is gonna end up being funneled with funneled with the Eclipse, as well as the Plasma Blaster, because the Eclipse is pretty much gonna allow you to shoot through and deal damage regardless of armor. And then on top of that, you're gonna be the Plasma Blaster. The Plasma Blaster gives you crit chance, and then the Stormcaller gives you crit chance, putting you at about 35% crit chance right there. So when you do crit, whatever your damage is, you're doubling it. And then but the passive off of the Plasma Blaster is giving you an extra 50%. So technically you're doing 150% damage, as well as you're dealing True Strike damage, which again, his kit, the further away he is, it allows for him to do maximum damage at optimal ranges. So yeah, like I said, straightforward DPS character. Not really much to kind of explain there. Everything that they show in the kit here kind of synergizes. You got movement speed from the Turbo Boots, get in, get out. Battle Madness to increase the movement speed and attack speed. The Medusa Shield, because you are a carry, so you are kind of squishy, because if you're a carry and you're not squishy, then that means you're probably lacking in the damage component somewhere. But the Medusa shield, like it's showing, grants you immunity to all energy effects. So any stuns, any like debuffs that are energy based, you can go ahead and block that. Yeah, it just works. And then on top of that, looking at the Stormcaller, they're going ahead and give your basic attacks extra damage on top of that. On top of the 75% true strike, you got the 25% chance 1 out of every 4 of your basic attacks is going to release a bolt of lightning. It bounces 3 times, deals 120 entry damage, just more extra damage just compounded on it. So really good intro standard starter kit. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the skill order. Excuse me. So, for this hero, the skill order is as follows, and still just mentioning, max hero level is in the game is 16 so far, unless it has changed. We again got to wait till the 13th to go ahead and double check, make sure everything is still the same. But the first ability you want to take off the bat is going to be your Sunfire, which is your basic ability. You're going to take that on your 3rd level, your 5th level, and your 7th level. That's pretty much going to be your main form of attack right there. Then Blinding Light, you're going to take at level 4. And then you're mainly going to take it a little bit late game. It's just that little extra push to kind of eke out that little extra damage there. You're going to take it at your 2nd at level 9, the 3rd level up at level 12, and then the 4th level up at level 14. Then Golden Bow, judging from what I'm looking at on here, you take the Golden Bow next. Level 2 should last you for a pretty decent time. Early game, about early game to mid game, it should give you enough range so you can stay out of the way and deal some optimal level deeps at a decent range. And then later as it starts progressing, as you see level 8, which should be kind of like right into the mid game, and then at level 10 and 13 is moving on to late game, because at that point you're probably more so going to be even squishy. Your damage is going to be higher, but you're probably going to be even more squishier at that point. And then lastly, the ultimate Radiant Arrow, you're going to take that at level 6. Like level 6 is going to be the standard for just about all characters, I'm assuming, or heroes, I'm assuming at this point. And then level 11 and level 16 respectively, you're going to take those two to go ahead and max it out. And that is going to be the skill order for Apollo. So yeah, folks, that is Apollo in a nutshell. He is your standard carry / archer. Nothing too over the top about him. Everything in his kit is pretty much straightforward. You kind of get what you get. Nothing too over the top. The actual items they want you to take, really nice middle level items. Nothing too much to think about, just dealing maximum amount of damage with him at the optimal range. So yeah, there it is, folks. Apollo in a nutshell. So that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Again, if you guys like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, or not a thumbs down if you want to. That's all you. Again, like I said, you guys' viewership is more than enough for me. I'm happy to do this for you guys. I'm happy to play with you guys and get all this out there for you. If you guys do like the content I'm creating, again, go ahead, smack that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified when I update. And that way you'll always be up to date with everything that's going on here, especially Genesis wise. And like that, we're out of here, guys. And remember, we're always good like grandma's cookies.